You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Now ask me.
I'm asking you if you're ready.
Ask me, yeah.
Are you ready?
I was born ready. Hey, this is me. This is Robinson Lamu, as always. And welcome to Los Teachers. It's a great pleasure for me to have at this time a guest. You know that everyone that I bring in here is because they have something to tell you. There's something for me to learn, and there's something for me to share with you that you learn and you get and you grasp out of this interview. It's a great honor for me. It's a great pleasure to introduce a colleague, a friend, a great human, a great citizen, and a great collaborator on everything that I've requested him. It's Hipolito, not the president, not the former president, Hipolito.
Okay, thank you, Robinson, for having me here. For me, I really appreciate this interview. I feel good because,
It's just a talk.
yeah.
I'm going to get you
It's
roasted.
It's a pleasure.
It's my pleasure. You
Yeah.
know, I appreciate it. I appreciate that. Ever since I told you the first time, Hipolito, this is what I got. I want to sit down with you. I didn't even
Get
tell.
into it.
I didn't tell you the first time. It was like a week after that I was like, I got to tell him what I want him to sit down for. And you were like, let's do it, baby.
Let's get into it.
Let's do it. And I appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for having me here.
It's my pleasure. You know, this is my place. And like you Americanos said, mi casa, tu casa. How you been?
It's my home.
How you been? It's been a
So
while.
great, man, long time no see you. And,
Yeah, I know.
You came up with that surprise. I got to
know.
interview you. I'm available. I'm open to dialogue.
Yeah, and you know what I like about you and some of the guys that I have shown up is that once I told them, hey, this is what I have, this is my idea, and they go like, I want to do it. Others they're a little shy. They are not. They've been a little reluctant, but I will try to convince them. So Hipolito is an English teacher. You didn't know that. Some of you do. So before we go deep into your teaching experience, where you learned, where you studied, I don't know if you went to WAS, to the School of Languages, this or that. The first idea, the first scenario that comes to my mind, it's 2001. No, wait. A few years later. It was 2007.
2007.
I was the English teacher at Immaculada School. And that summer, I was heading to make an internship in hotel management at the Ritz-Carlton in Naples, Florida. I was leaving the country for a year. I needed a teacher, and I found you. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I have in my mind. Let me talk about the elephant in the room.
The mic is open. It's all yours. Hit it, cowboy.
My first experience was not
At Immaculada.
Immaculada High School.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, my first experience was in a school, in a homework room
Mm-hmm.
in my hood, where I had about 12 students, 12 kids.
Yeah.
I was preparing them because they were, kind of, lost in teaching English, in writing English. Sorry. And I was helping them. And when I finished with the whole group, I was like, oh my God, but I can't teach
do
in high school. I can't
You
do that.
saw the results and you're like,
I like the way.
do this.
Yeah, I like the way I did it, and I started teaching in high school. And I know it was. I discovered myself as an English teacher,
And you see how easy we
and
fall in love with this.
I remember that I replaced you.
You did.
You because you had a trip. And I don't know what you had, what you really had, but it was like
I remember that.
my strong first experience with a huge group of students.
Yeah, it was
In
was
2007.
2007.
2007.
Wait, that was the first time you got exposed to a large audience of
Yeah,
students,
of course.
right?
But let me tell you that because of my least experience,
Mm-hmm.
I presented myself before the students as a as a as a rookie, because s- uh, yeah,
You were honest to them. You told them that you were not
yeah, I told them because
expert in the
I just graduated from the Dominican Americano, and it was it was my first group,
yeah.
huge group of students in front of me.
What was it?
Yeah, and it was not easy because
You're welcome. Oh wow, you are
No, but-
very welcome. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
But I was really I was
You were willing to
I
take.
was willing to take the task.
You see, this is something that I really appreciate from people at whatever they do. You tell me do something within your boundaries that I might not be capable of, not something I hurt myself or my family whatsoever, but professionally, like earning a living or something like that. And to be honest, I might not be able to do the task,
Yeah.
but there's something inside of me that triggers me, that drives me to learn how to do it and achieve the goals that you're requesting.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you something.
You had that.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you something. You construct
Mhm.
your own personality and your own projects by taking yourself into the task every day.
You commit with
Yeah, you commit with yourself every day, because if you feel like you are not doing things well, you go back and say, oh my God, I gotta retake, I gotta rechange many things because I'm not doing things well. I gotta practice more. I gotta and you can start your own path, and that is what I did those time. Because let me tell you, Robinson, that it was not easy for me.
It's not easy.
Yeah, because my huge my first experience really was that, and I got bullied, because my English was not good at the time, and it is just things that happens every day.
And it had to happen
Yeah,
to shape you into
Yeah.
what you are.
yeah. When
today.
you undertake something in life, you gotta shape
Word.
yourself.
Word.
That's the word, man.
Word. I'm gonna tell you this. Some people might say, "Oh no, teaching anybody can do this." I mean, it's not rocket science. You can handle this. You can do that. But at the end of the day, if you take any parent, 3, 4 kids at home
Yeah,
during summer, they pray and beg the Lord for the school to start because they are not able to manage their own children. But what you do, what I do, and many of you are doing now, handling 30, 40 kids in a classroom, behavior, performance, oral performance, writing performance, speaking performance, listening performance, social development, values, society values, and things like that. When in the paperwork, the register, los registros, teacher, lo que más le gusta a ustedes. Planning, assessment. When you take all of these things, loco, hay que ser un héroe.
yeah. And let me tell you, Robinson, that you may get they trust you. It's not easy. You may trust yourself first, and get prepared. Get ready for the task, because many people say, like you said before, like you were saying, teaching is easy. Because I get into the classroom, I teach, I say something in English, I teach. No. It doesn't. It is not.
It doesn't work
It is
like
not
that.
what many people think about.
It doesn't work.
Yeah, it doesn't work, because you have to give the student the environment to really
appropriate
the appropriate environment to
Learning
learn the language.
Yeah.
And that's why I consider that it's not easy. It is learned step by step, day by day. And you got to be ready from the early morning to the late night.
two things. I mean, you said so many things. I should have taken notes. Number one, when you teach, it's something that I always tell my students. Private classes at a private school, whatever I move that I have to teach English, I tell them, this is not an easy task because you need to prepare yourself. You cannot and you should not and you must not stand in front of a crowd, even in front of one single student, to guide them through the learning process of one topic that you don't know. Teaching is not like politics. You know, politicians, they promise you what they don't have. I cannot go into a classroom trying to teach something that I don't know.
Yes.
And you just said it. We have to prepare ourselves.
Yeah, I think Robinson, that teaching is a hard task. It's easy if you like it, because if you like it,
once you
it's
like
gonna be your work, your job, it's gonna be something that you enjoy every day. But teaching must be a serious task, and you must take it seriously, because let me tell you that the students may trust you, they may trust in what you say in the classroom. Because if you pronounce a word, they have to understand and to internalize that word the way you pronounce it.
Yes.
And let me tell you, Robinson, that
I'm going live.
I'm
listening.
Yeah, many words are fossilizing in the brain. The term fossilize means that the word comes to your mind, and if you acquire that word mispronounced, it lasts in time, and then you have to
Unlearn it. Somebody has to teach you the right way, the proper way. You unlearn it.
Yeah.
And you really learn.
As I say my students in the morning, every day, in the morning, vamos a hoy
A desaprender.
Vamos hoy a aprender. Vamos hoy a desaprender para aprender.
Yeah.
That's the word I use every morning.
Yeah.
And teaching is a hard task, as I said before.
And you're right about what you're saying. And guys, remember, me, Robinson Lamo, this is your host at Los Teachers Podcast. We have with us Hipolito, teacher Hipolito. I didn't catch up your last name. Miren qué cosa es.
Marte. Marte Mendoza. What happened? What's going on with you?
HMM. Yeah, I know, because I have a few shirts, H&M.
Yeah, but I understand you.
Not because I bought them. People gave them to me. H&M. Because Hipolito Marte. Oh, por tú eres libre de la bomba de gasolina.
No. I'm not familiar with this guy.
But anyways, as you were saying, look, language acquisition, it's a process where, like you were saying, learners, we as teachers, we have to prepare their learning environment, their minds, their everything. Physically, the environment has to be ready, and they have to be prepared to it. And then we introduce them little by little.
Yeah, I can see it as a teacher. In my experience as a teacher, I consider that the learning of students in the classroom depends on the teacher, not depends on the students.
Yes.
You as a teacher may have to have. It's a must.
It's a must.
It's a must.
Yeah.
You have to have not just the experience, but the techniques.
Yes.
So that the students learn the language and practice together, and you get involved with them in the classroom. You don't just see in the classroom like a boss. No, you're the guide. You're the assistant. You're the helper.
It's not like that.
Yeah, you have to sit down with the students in the classroom.
Yeah.
It's a must. It's gonna be amazing, because the students are going to be confident.
And first, you build confidence with them.
Yeah.
And then you build rapport.
Yes. That's my opinion as a teacher, because my experience tells me that the teacher must do the hard task so that the students learn in the classroom. The hard task is,
I know people that sober, they speak no English. You give me a drink, and it go
And they stood up.
don't ask me why and how that happens, but I know people that it happens to them. But anyways, guys, remember, this is Los Teachers, Robinson, your host. Remember to share, like, and subscribe. No importa el orden. Si usted se suscribe, le da like y después share, o comparte, le da like y se suscribe. Pero suscríbase y comparta para que los demás también puedan aprender. Mira, something that I always remind watchers and people. These videos are in English for one main reason. It's like a way for me to foster, English speaking, because I've seen so many English schools here in La Vega come and go. And I've seen so little people speak English. I know a lot of people that they do, but being able to stand in front of a crowd, teach, and blah, 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 way too little. And something important you said that just came into my mind is that many people, they do speak English, but they can't teach. It's the same as in Spanish, Just because you know some English, B1, B2, C1, C2, it doesn't mean that you are capable of teaching. Is that so? What do you think?
Well, let me tell you, before giving my opinion about it.
Yeah.
La Vega is one of the towns where English is least spoken. And this kind of show are really relevant and important because, as you said, you may watch TV in La Vega in Spanish, and people don't give the importance to the language as it is. And I can see it, and I congratulate you because you undertook this project, and it's going to be good, not just for you, but for students.
It's just to broadcast learning and speaking and things like that.
And the other part is about my experience.
Tell us about your English learning process.
My English learning process. Okay. I start learning English in El Dominico Americano.
I went to the...
Yeah, it was my first...
I'm not saying it.
Yes.
Cuando me pregunten, when people ask me, when I sit down somebody here and ask me where your English come from, I will give you a big surprise regarding the Dominico Americano.
Yeah, but I graduated from the Dominico Americano in 2004.
In the capital or here in Santiago?
In Santiago.
Okay.
And I immediately start my career in languages, in tourism.
At UAS or
mention turismo at a university
at UAPA?
At UAPA.
Yeah, because they have these modern languages.
Yes, I graduated at UAPA in 2010.
Did you?
Yeah, and I major in linguistics, in teaching English in at UAS.
At UAS.
Yeah.
Oh, cool, man.
I got a diploma. I got a diploma in English linguistics also.
Yeah.
And several diploma courses that enhance.
You get your diplomas,
my curriculum.
This is important for me. I'm sorry, I'm not looking at you, but I'm just handling at the same time, social media and stuff. But you do understand me. You did Dominico, and then you went to WAPA. Your courses at WAPA, were they in tourism or English?
Totally in English.
Tourism.
Yeah.
But tourism.
Yeah, tourism. Yeah, in English, in Spanish also.
Yeah.
So when I graduated at Dominico Americano, I felt empty because it's because of you don't feel
like satisfied.
Complete in English because you may you have to increase your vocabulary and your way of thinking in English. And I felt empty, and I start my career in 2010. I was teaching in high school, and it served as a practice to me
Yeah.
because I was teaching face to face to those students who spoke English. I was at another high school,
Mm-hmm.
which is the bilingual, you know, and those students there spoke English. Because they were from the United States,
Bro.
even though they didn't speak Spanish.
Bro, I landed a job at that school 2000 and I can't remember. I don't know. I don't want to even say it. Many of them, they did have an outstanding spoken English. Speaking, they were crazy. But you ask them to spell through. They had no idea, no clue how to spell through whatsoever. They even confused there and there. There and there. They are and there. I mean, so many little things.
Yeah, simple grammar.
Absolutely. But I tried like working on that to get them, help them and improve and this and that. But the thing is that sometimes you have a curricula and a plan and things and books to follow, and you can't skip what they give you. Therefore, I quit. I worked at that. Yeah, I quit. I wasn't, and some other things that.
Not to say that you gave up. You just
no. I didn't give up. I'm not a quitter. But truth is, if you ask me to work with you to teach you English, and within certain period of time I see no progress on you, I change the methodology. I change everything. I change the whole scenario. And after the second change, if I see no progress on you, I just tell you, look, this is not gonna work.
Yeah, what you're saying happens in many institutes of English. They give you
false hopes in
no like in the military. This is what you have to do.
Yeah,
and you don't have autonomy. You're not you know.
It's crazy.
Yeah, you cannot come up with new ideas of teaching. No. And you have to do what they want you to do. And that's what happened in many institutes of English.
Yeah, and then it's this.
It is not progress.
It
doesn't promote the students' progress.
Absolutely.
No.
And the students know when they learn. Students know when they are being held back. They know when there's no skyrocketing learning in whatsoever. And keeping them in the institution, promoting them to new books and new level and new this and new that in conversation when they don't get a clue what you're talking about, man, you're hurting your institution. You're hurting it. Definitely. Your first job as a teacher was where?
My first job as a teacher, as I would say,
not privately, like a private school or something like that.
Okay, I have spent my time working in private school.
Okay,
but my first job as a name teacher is in public school. It was in 2009.
2009?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry. In 2010.
Okay, 2010.
Oh wow! Then I start
public school.
In public school.
So you've been in the system, the platform for 13 years now.
13 years now.
Good, awesome.
Mm-hmm. This is my experience in public school, but I have a huge experience that comes from private institution, and that helps you in public school because public school when you say
hold on. Let me just get.
Well, the difference is
you have worked at private schools and you have worked.
Okay, I'm gonna spell the bins.
You look. let me just give you what you're gonna say. Let me tell you. The mic is open. Now you will contrast or compare public school with private schools.
Yeah.
The perks and the downsides. In which one you choose and why? I mean, speak your mind. I'm gonna sit
Well,
back.
what kind of question is that, Robinson?
Go ahead.
Well,
Nail it, cowboy.
well, in terms of learning, and also part of teaching, I prefer. We as teachers, we gotta be conscious about it. If we compare both private and public school, we feel more comfortable in private school because the rules and the way the students receive and the way the students
Approach towards teacher.
it's different. They are more committed with the language, with the learning than in public school. That's a reality in the Dominican Republic. That's not a mystery.
And some people they wanna hide.
No. I gotta spill the beans in public because that's what happened in the Dominican Republic. The students in private school are more committed with not just with the learning, with their progress outside the classroom. Because when they come to the classroom, they so they feel so they demonstrate that they are practicing outside. That is that they don't just take the words and the learning they get in the classroom. That's the word. And for real, this is, I think that we got to be conscious about it. It's hard to think about.
Is there anything? I mean, what could teachers do to change the whole scenario at public schools?
Public school, well,
Yeah. What does it take to change it? Because look, before you give us your answer, your thoughts and ideas, there could be a solution.
yes,
Many people want to blame it on the system.
yeah,
First thing first is the system, is the teachers, is this and that. But no one focuses on the learners. No one focuses on what happens at their homes.
yeah,
And they bring their reality to the classroom. Dysfunctional families. I don't want to mention the whole list, but let's forget about that. But what could be a viable solution to getting learners from private school more committed to learn English?
well, I'm gonna give you my own truth that comes from my experience. That comes from my experience in my reality. The problem is not just the teachers and the system. The problem are every one of us.
Is everyone
involved in the system? Because we got to change the system altogether.
Yes.
It's not just the teacher, it's not just the coordinator, it's not just the principal, it's not just the assistant. No. It's all of us.
It's all of us.
Because we contribute to the students' learning. But let me tell you, there are many things that we must change in public school that goes from the one who designed the program above. Because
all the way down
we as teachers, are suffering from this sick in public school. That you have one guy that comes to your classroom that don't know anything in English, and he's like, I'm going to check your class. I'm going to monitor your class to give you support. But what kind of support can you give me if you don't teach English, if you don't know about English, if you don't speak English, if you don't have experience in teaching English? Because there are a lot of methods that we use in English as a teachers that come from 1860 and on, that they don't know about it. And we as teachers, I major in this area, I know every one of these methods and approaches, and they don't know about it. That's our reality in public school. And I feel like, strange what I'm saying this.
Discouraging.
Yeah, it's not easy to talk about it. Many teachers don't like to talk about it because they feel that no, I'm open. We are civilized spirit. We are civilized, and we have to be open to dialogue, and open to say what you want to say.
But at the same time, you need to be heard because you are the one that every day faces the learners, and you know what their really needs are, and you really know what you could bring into their learning process so they can acquire the language and also use it as well.
Yes. But this is one of the part to change education, and not education, but our
the whole system.
Yeah, the whole system.
The whole system.
The whole system.
Yeah.
And that's why we feel like
sometimes we feel like arms turned down, discouraged,
many teachers feel
unmotivated
because I have never experienced that feeling, but many teachers feel discouraged for that reason.
Did you finish already your school year?
Yeah. We finished. We just worked with the
paperwork.
Oh my God. With the registros,
the paperwork,
the teacher's plan, and that's not easy, Robinson. That's not easy.
Déjame pegarme de aquí. Loco, esa vaina tiene que hacerlo digital para salir de eso, para irlo llenando semanal o diario.
Digital, eso es un.
Because we're working with them on paper. You do your handwriting and you get attendance, monthly performance, and you do this and do that.
They are intentionals. But let me tell you, I'm not going to touch it. I don't know
that digital.
Yeah, in digital now. And physically also. But let me tell you, I'm not going to touch this kid because it is in process of change. And, and that's why I was like, yeah. But that's it. That's how it is.
Somehow, it doesn't affect me directly because the place that I work at, I am in the management department. I got like 13, 12 teachers that are under my umbrella. But at the same time, I have to look forward and that whatever they do, it's comfortable to themselves and also to myself. And I cannot see a problem that affects them and just cross my arms like, oh, it doesn't affect me because I'm not teaching anymore. But I'm still, whatever I do, it's to...
Indirect. It affects you.
Because if they fail at what they do or they just mishap or just, you name it, eventually the one that the people blame, it's me.
Yeah. This is a task where we need to get involved.
Something I didn't say a while ago. You mentioned it like on the you were saying something that people do not take into account. I'm being really black.
Yeah.
Tú sabes lo que la gente no le cuenta. Yo, we take our jobs to our homes. You teach
many
classroom.
Yeah,
but we're
talking about teachers.
We bring everything
talking about teachers. It's usual. It is usual in teachers taking work to our homes,
bro.
Yeah,
it's usual. We finish. I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4 p.m.
yourself,
and you
get exhausted.
If you want to get advanced, you have to take home everything when it comes to paperwork.
Yeah,
it is impossible for you to have a successful school year without taking home paperwork.
It's not easy to succeed.
No,
that way
you die on the run.
Yeah.
You know what? I have a few boxes in one of the bedrooms. Actually, it's a spare bedroom that we have here at home. And I still have papers from 2009. Yo tengo papeles de 2009 ahí. It's true, I know I have to just dispose them, throw in the trash and this and that. But it is impossible for you as a teacher, professor, guide, whatever you want to name it, it is impossible for us not to bring home paperwork. We can't do that.
It takes you the time to share with your family.
Yes.
And the time you hang out with friends.
Absolutely.
And it interests you out.
It does.
Because if you must as a teacher, you must create an area, an environment, a schedule, that's it, to correct exams and to deal with paperwork at school, because it's not easy when you are at home and you want to share with your family, with your daughters and with your siblings.
Yep.
And having a bunch of exams to correct and to mark.
You know, during the pandemic,
I don't do as teacher.
I've changed the way. I mean, when I was in the classroom last year,
That's not right.
I had my own ways. Let me tell you this real quick. You know what I used to do? This is an anecdote that it might be helpful for you in the long run. I had a class, 35 students. We ran the exams. They did it. I just took it one by one. They wrote down their names and everything, all the information. Once we were done, if we had time, we'd do it like right away. If we didn't have time, I would bring them home. I wouldn't work on them, bring them back to school. When they asked me, hey, teacher, where are the exams? We want to know our grades. You know what I did? Okay, everyone grab a pen. Grab a blue pen. Everybody's got their blue pen.
Self-correction.
I gave them the exams back.
Yeah.
I mean, your exam was not given to you.
No.
You were giving somebody else.
Yeah.
Right.
Self-correction.
So everyone was given someone else's exam. So I had Marco, Francisco had mine, and Francisco had mine.
And let me tell you that it works.
Bro, everybody learned because
I don't want them to score more points than me.
Exactly.
I don't go to check everything.
On the screen, I showed the answer. We were, okay, point one, number one. Number one, it's B or it's run, anything.
Yeah.
They just check.
They check everything.
And we earn time. And whoever had it like misspelled or any other thing, they will go like, everything, teacher, pero no tiene. Wait, the verb was run, but he had ran. And they go like, teacher, pero no tiene run,
From A to Z. They check from A to Z.
But that
was
fun.
Yeah, that worked.
It was fun.
Yeah,
and at the same time, you teach them.
Yes, of course.
You teach them
Because they learn from the others' mistakes.
You teach them English, and you teach them also values as what? Honesty.
Yeah.
Honesty.
And you don't trust.
I have my best friend's exam. La tiene mala, ¿qué voy a hacer? ¿Se la pongo buena? No. Because at the end of the day, when I had to hand them out, I knew, and you also happen to know every one of your learners, and you know each of their weaknesses and strengths. So when I handed out the papers, I know, okay, Francisco has problem with the adjectives, long adjectives or short adjectives. When he says, instead of bigger than, he says more big than. When I hand it out, I just glance real quick. Oops, no problem. There you go. And it fosters like cooperation, honesty, this and that.
It foster learning. Yeah, it foster the learning. Let me tell you that it is.
If you're not earn time doing like that,
it's a great experience.
Yes,
it's a great experience. I've done it.
You've done it.
Yeah, and it works. Really works.
Absolutely.
And after the,
I'm telling you, I don't teach it. I
do okay. I get by. But let me tell you that after you do it, you feel satisfied because they did it. You come up with the comments in class about the test. What about the test? What about the mistake? What you learn from this mistake?
And the errors, they correct themselves. And this is quite enlightening and satisfying, And at the end of the day, it's a win-win situation
Yeah.
because you win time, you win and earn time that you could use it for your friends, relatives, for yourself, and that's something that I encourage you, teachers, friends, whoever is watching this, to do it. Si no lo han hecho, señores, like, subscribe, and share. Share, subscribe, and like. Like, share, subscribe. Like, subscribe, and share. Pero denle para allá. So you teaching at a private school at the moment. Any other place?
Well, I work at the university. I'm teaching
As a professor or the language
as a
school?
professor.
Oh, awesome. Wow.
Professor, and
Are you planning to teach at UAS or something?
no, it's part of it's part of
It's part of your goal.
it's my goals, and
I hope you can do
yeah, I've been doing it from several years ago.
quite a while. Set a number. What, 20 years now?
Well, 6 years, because I was no, sorry. At this university I just have 2 years,
Okay.
but I was working at la UAS, but not as a professor, as a
A monitor?
monitor of English, and I was in 2020 to 2023, 22, sorry, and I had an experience there, where I saw the way the teachers as professors,
Yes.
act in the classroom, and I was, for me,
Yeah.
it comes like a like a bendición to me.
It's been a great talk. I appreciate it, man. It's really enlightening. I enjoy this kind of talks, this kind of conversation that you talk about your past experiences, this and that, and people learn, And I'm doing these videos because there's a bunch of people, I'm included, that will learn by hearing, by listening. Therefore, we doing this to get people, to get more involved and acquire language and use the language. Hipolito Marte, tengo una camisa ahí, HM, Hipolito Marte, alemán y toda la vaina. It's been a great, great honor and pleasure for me to have you at my place and run this. If there's anything that you want to add to close, any word of advice and courage to both, to either teachers or learners or the public in general.
My sage advice for my students to my students, because teachers, they have their own way of teaching, but we encourage teachers to be to change and to get on the train of change.
Not everyone is willing or into change.
And that's a theme. That's a topic. And and my sage advice is to learn English and to speak English. Don't be afraid of English, because if you are afraid of the language, of the target language, you are not going to speak English anywhere.
No, not.
If you feel like you are if you feel like you
Can't do it.
can do it, do it. Because what matters is to communicate the idea, to communicate what you have in mind. When Americans come to our country, they speak like, "Oh, yo quiero jugar."
Donde está la playa?
It doesn't.
They don't feel ashamed.
No,
Not at
they
all.
don't feel shame.
Nope.
They are not shameful about it. And if you like English, speak English everywhere. If you, for example, have a dictionary, read your dictionary. And if you have access to any TV show, listen to a TV show and watch the subtitles and learn it, because English opens doors. English opens doors, and that's my sage advice. Learn words, and more words.
English open gates.
Open gates. Not doors, gates.
Loco. English open gates. Believe me, it does. Entonces, after all that is said and done, it's thank you for watching Los Teachers. Señores, para nosotros es un honor inmenso que usted saque su tiempo para suscribirse, compartir y ver todos estos videos. La idea de esto es simplemente motivar y fomentar el uso del inglés. Entonces, señores, aprendan inglés, que esa cosa abre, no puerta, abre portones. This is Los Teachers Podcast. Thank you for watching and have a good one. Hipolito, this is your
Great
pleasure.
pleasure.
It's my pleasure, bro, for coming here.
All
All right, see you around.